9:01, the day after 4th of July. I have Dr. Aaron Chapa with Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. Not quite in studio, but he's zooming in. Dr. Chapa, we're going to kick this on the FM, have some fun, and see what you got going on today. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. My name is Gardy. I have Dr. Aaron Chapa with Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center zooming in. Dr. Chapa, how you doing? What's going on?
Hey, Gardy. Good morning. How are you in the world's day, my brother? Happy Independence Day.
Yes, sir. I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you? Where are you at?
Man, we're in Sheridan, Texas. We're in a little campground up here called Splashway, and we're just enjoying the festivities of Independence Day and just enjoying the sunshine and family time, and just came up here for the weekend and just living it up.
That's awesome. So, the weather's been really nice. Yesterday it was pretty hot and warm. How are y'all guys handling all that?
Ooh, man. I think I got in my car yesterday afternoon to drive back to the campsite, and it was 111 degrees in my car. So, yeah, it was a little toasty.
Yeah,
111 degrees. I don't care how you cut it; it'll make you warm. It's like being in one of our infrared saunas, just a little different.
Yeah,
a hot box versus infrared is a little different animal, but you can still get the sweat on.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, no, we are very thankful and blessed. I love technology. It allows us to be anywhere and do radio and tech and still bring that message. Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center always wants to bring a health and wellness message. And I'm all about vacationing on a healthy diet. I'm all about celebrating Independence Day in a healthy lifestyle. I'm just very thankful for that. And then, we've got a lot of stuff going on at our office right now. We have the first is come and gone. Well, it was the start of our first kickoff for the detox that we talked about last week, the inflammatory reduction detox. And on the 11th, we're going to be launching the blood sugar reset detox. And then on the 21st, we're going to be, doing the systemic cellular detox. So, today we can talk about those things. If people have questions, comments, they want to get some more insight and information. But, I was just going to go back to, it is still hot outside and people still are vacationing. That's why we built these 10-day programs in order to maximize people's health during holiday seasons or, times of travel. Like, people aren't traveling for 30 days typically, so they have a 10-day window between trips, or they can actually get a detox in there, working towards their 42 days a year of detoxification. And when we take the time to plan those detoxes out, our body performs astronomically better. And I'm always about trying to help people see that they are in more control of their health than they may realize. And I mean, there's plenty of opportunities where I'm at up here to indulge and get into junk food. But I also have planned accordingly my weekend and have my food ready, and I have less option to fall off the wagon because I went through the trouble of planning. And they always say people never plan to fail, they just fail to plan. And so having that plan in place has helped me. So that kind of leads me into some of what do we talk about when we go on vacation and how do you do this thing? So I just didn't even realize how this is going to work out so awesome this morning. But when I ran out the house on Sunday morning, or Sunday afternoon rather, I had thrown together a little, look at this, a box of stuff. I'm going to call it my war chest.
That's a bunch of goodies, isn't it? That's a lot of stuff in there.
That is a lot of stuff in there. And, first thing right on top, because you never know, Intestinal Cleanse, #1, right there. Boom, boom, in your face. And why that's so important is Intestinal Cleanse #1. It's got a series of different botanical blending herbs that help mobilize the bowels. When people travel, they get traveler's constipation. That backs up into their liver, that slows down their lymphatics, that causes them to catch the summer colds more effectively. We don't want you to catch a cold effectively. We want you to beat colds or prevent them or not allow them to ever settle into your body. And having a healthy functioning bowel is key. So Intestinal Cleanse #1 is one of the things in our war chest as the Chapa crew travels. Not that we always use that product, but we use that product if anybody feels a headache coming on, they feel a little sluggish, they feel like their lymph nodes are swollen, maybe they got into some sugary treats they shouldn't have eaten. I mean, there's definitely rhyme and reason to having that in your war chest when you travel. I'm going to be out in the sun right now quite a bit yesterday and today. And of course, this next one is already prepped in a bag. This is my bag of subs, and I have fish oil capsules in there. And those fish oil capsules pairs very well with my calcium magnesium powder. And what we're doing with the calcium magnesium powder and the fish oil pearls, it's called Omega Force, is to help prepare my body for a maximal sunshine exposure. I'm going to be roaming around in the water, and I'm going to be out in the sun full bore, just like we talked about earlier. And I don't want my skin to burn, and I don't want to leave myself vulnerable to yet another infection because I didn't have adequate calcium magnesium levels built up in the tissue. See, the Omega Force or the fish oil capsules will help the delivery of calcium, magnesium, many other minerals as well, to the cellular tissue. And that creates a preventative sunblock and a preventative to the colds and bugs while I'm out here in the elements. So the calcium magnesium powder is a absolute. I take it in the morning, a teaspoon. I take it before I go into the sun around lunch, and then again when I get back, and again at dinner or bedtime. So that'll be 4 teaspoons of that stuff a day, and I'll wind up taking about a tablespoon twice a day of the Omega Force spread out throughout the day in those gel caps. So it's just a brilliant way to maximize your body's immune system and prepare your system for the sun as you're getting into it this summer and as you're traveling with your friends and your family and your loved ones. So, I mean, just totally cool war chest item idea. And of course, we can't ever go anywhere without Catalin. Chewable Catalin for the kiddos, regular Catalin for the adults, but this is 200 phytonutrients and phytochemicals packed in a tablet. Tastes like little candies. They taste delicious. And so now you've got your Omega Force, you've got your calcium, magnesium, you've got your 200 phytonutrients and phytochemicals, and really and truly, that should help you, right? I mean, that's at very minimal. If that's all you prepared for in your war chest, then you're better prepared than most people. And then, of course, I got I might have 2. Let's see. No, I just have one. I have the other one at home. But I got 2 bottles, one called Thymex and one called Kongaplex. These must be in my war chest because when in doubt, we what? Gardy, do you remember?
Yes, you Kongaplex it out.
That's right, buddy. We Kongaplex it out. And Kongaplex is a formula blend to help the cold. If anybody gets any type of illness, I'm never traveling without this stuff. This should be in every medicine tool chest across the country, in my opinion. Every parent, every person that travels needs Kongaplex available, and Kongaplex can knock a cold out. If you take 5 capsules 3 times a day, you'll knock a cold out overnight, 24 hours. 95% of the time. It's amazing. And then, of course, we also take Thymex because we want to boost those natural killer cells because, we're crazy, but we're not too crazy in the fact that we let our kids indulge in junk food, at some extent on their, vacation experience. We don't want them missing out on, some of that stuff. Although, I mean, I'd like for them to, but the reality is we're not going to do that to them. So we have these tools available so that they can have a stronger, healthier, more vibrant immune system. So we load them up on Kongaplex and Thymex in the evening times after they've had their day in the sun. And of course, I do the calcium and the fish oil with them during the day. And this is the Omega Force Junior for the little ones. This is a little smaller version of what I'm taking, but still nonetheless effective. So I mix this with that calcium magnesium powder. The fish oil is the taxi service that allows it to be delivered to my kids' cells, and they're ready and rocking, ready to roll. And I mean, again, the medicine tool chest is where it's at. The war chest, if you will, helps you be prepared whenever you go out into the wilderness and go, man, I wish I had this. So if we can get these little things available to you, because you never know what, a trip's going to bring. And so, of course, let's continue on. What else do you think might be in my war chest.
I would say maybe a sword or something like that, just because I know you may want to travel with some protection.
I
There is a comment I want to bring up. This is from Noah, and this was kind of before you went into all this. He said, "Hey, do we need to take our supplements when we're on vacation, right?" And then you're kind of answering all that. The other thing I wanted to
Dude,
bring
yeah,
up.
Noah, you kicked it, man. That's a great question, and I'm so glad that you asked. And to Gardy, I don't have a sword, Gardy, but I do have this guy. This guy is a
Oh,
fork and a knife. It's got a little knife edge here and a little fork action there. This is from a company called Yuko, and a little big a spoon. And I have a little mini carabiner, and I attach that to my big Yeti that has all my food in it. And so I do kind of sort of have a sword. I mean, I guess I could probably. I don't know if that's effective, but I mean, yeah, I do. I am a little prepared for that. But yes, no, we have to have tools on our tool bag because your body still eats. You're still eating, you're still breathing, you're still, excreting. Your body still you're putting yourself into out of its ordinary. Remember, our body likes patterns, habits, and routines. And so when you take your body out of its habits and routines, it is a stressor that your body has to manage. Yes, I know I'm going on vacation. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. But man, what if you get a bellyache? What if you get car sick? What do? Well, I got it right here. Look at that. It's already been used. Chamomile marshmallow. See the little stain down the side? Chamomile marshmallow needs to be in your war chest because you never know when somebody's going to have a little digestive need. And so I love chamomile marshmallow and the fact that it tastes good. It soothes the intestinal tract. It lubricates the mucous membranes, stimulates the mucous membranes, and helps prime the body for digestion. And it helps to create a mucilaginous, infrastructure in those mucosal membranes to create a higher level of absorption with the food that you're eating, and to make sure that whatever travel stresses you find yourself in, you're in a very good place and have an attack back to soothing that stomach, because when somebody's got a stomach ache, man, it ruins everything. If somebody's vomiting, it ruins everything. I mean, it ruins it for them. It ruins it for the people involved in the trip. And so having, again, tools like this, nausea, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, chamomile marshmallow. We blend this in our office, is why it's not in a fancy bottle. We do a 50-50 blend of MediHerb, a company out of Australia's chamomile and marshmallow root. It is not marshmallows. Sorry, kids. But it does taste better than most of the herbs in my office. And again, very, very nourishing to the tissues and of the stomach. And in 15 minutes, I've seen nausea, vomiting just stop. And I've seen the nauseousness begin to go away. And 9 times out of 10, I mean, this is always in my bag, or my it's even in my gym bag, because sometimes you get in there and you push really hard, and I've just gotten myself where I felt a little lightheaded and a little bit stomach uneasy, and I'm just like, I don't need any of that. I'm here at the gym trying to train, and the last thing I need is to have a nauseous moment. And so chamomile marshmallow can even be very good in that situation. And that's just because I pushed maybe a set too hard, and I got my adrenaline too high, cortisol levels started popping, and my the blood just came out of the digestive tract. So putting the chamomile marshmallow back into the digestive tract brings the blood flow, and that's what creates that soothing feeling.
Okay,
So,
something else
great.
about a soothing feeling, and I have headphones on so I can hear audio pretty well, but I hear like just birds chirping in the background.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear a bunch of birds chirping in the background. It's nice.
I hope they're not chirping too loud, but
No.
yes, they're definitely. It's very peaceful out here, and I love the morning sun. Actually, and right now it's interesting. I have a little reprieve with respect to I have some cloud cover while we're doing the show this morning, so God was good to me in that respect. So I'm not breaking out into a sweat, but I wanted to find y'all the best spot where I could like log in and be a part of y'all's world, even on my trip and my vacation, because this is important to me to share my life with my patients, my friends, my family, and people that are following what we do. And because people need to see live action. So like I have my bag of pills, and I'm gonna just start hammering some of these things, because I'm again getting still prepared for this sunny, beautiful day ahead of me that I still have left on my little trip.
Yes. Whenever you travel, Dr. Chapa, do you take any like peppermint oils or like lavender oils or anything like that with you as well?
I do indeed. We use lavender at night when we sleep, so that's back at the cabin. And the peppermint oil, of course, whenever we travel, we always have it because, again, that whole nauseousness in the car thing,
Yeah.
headaches, man, just that I need to put a little peppermint on my stomach just to bring, again, it's a blood flow thing. It changes the space for us as people, and so those are my favorite two oils, to travel with and always have available. So they're both at the cabin. I didn't grab those two, but we definitely use essential oils because they're quick, they're fast acting, and they help in a pinch, right? So I use them like as acute care. So like, for example, two nights ago, Sunday evening when I got here, I don't know why, but my eyes were very dry, and not allergies. I could definitely tell the difference. They weren't watery. They were just dry. Like my contacts needed to go ahead and come out. And if I would have gone and taken my contacts out, they would have balanced out fine. But for whatever reason, I just didn't. And so I went and grabbed my peppermint oil, ran it across my forehead, down under, around the temples and up underneath the maxillary sinus, just, about 2 fingers under fingernail width underneath my eyeballs, and waited 10 minutes. And guess what happened? Blood flow came to the area, the eyes relaxed, and, the dryness went away. And so that's a way that I go and use, things like peppermint oil effectively in a pinch. So like I also could say, man, you got a headache coming on, rub it on your temples, rub it on the back of your neck, and put 1 dropper, assuming that it is a supplemental peppermint oil that is acceptable to be, dropping down orally. You can put a drop in your mouth and you can breathe that in, and it just, again, changes your whole head space. And when you change that head space and you get that blood moving into the head, you can stop a headache from taking root and ruining your day. So again, another great, powerful acute therapies in the form of essential oils. And so I think that is a fantastic add to the war chest. So good call there, Gardy.
Yeah, you talk about having a day ruined. I've had that happen on a vacation once before. We went out on a boat ride to go fish, and it was scheduled for like 4 or 5 hours, and I got seasick. Me and my wife did, and I tried to prepare, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do the patch and all this stuff, but it just messed up not only that 4 hours that we were out there fishing just sick as a dog, but the rest of the day and then some of the next day. But I didn't have, I guess, enough tools or just the preparation, and it just messed up not the whole trip, but the day.
Deep sea fishing is a tough thing, especially if that was a deep sea trip. I've been on the water just out to the jetties in Texas City and found I've found myself a little bit nauseous and seasick. I use chamomile marshmallow, I use peppermint, and sometimes I can keep it away as long as, but then you put me on a lake, I don't ever get seasick, not even a little bit. It's just the weirdest, amazing thing. And so, but that can happen, and seasick travels whenever you're on these fishing excursions can be a green experience for some. I remember my first one as a kid, and it was a green experience, and I was famished by the end of it, and not in a good way. Not because I got kissed by the sun, because I fed the fish voluntarily everything I had, and it was very terrible. But I have since had redeeming moments where I went fishing with my neighbor, Mr. Mike, and he is a great commercial fisherman, and he's always been able to teach us how to keep our eyes on the horizon, so they say, and have more successful days out on those waters. But I still use chamomile marshmallow and peppermint even out there. The only challenge with the peppermint on a boat, and this is a very important fact, this will ruin your fishing experience, is you cannot put peppermint in the shrimp container. You just can't do it. And if it's on your hands, it will kill your shrimp, and that is not good for a fishing. That's another good way to destroy a fishing trip, but not in your way. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
That's just a fun fishing tip. That's what I would call a amateur rookie. Don't make this mistake tip, or a pro tip if it was coming from a real professional. But I am not a fisherman professional, so I can't give you a pro tip in that regard. But I can give you some pro tips on living well and staying well. And so we have Bioimmunozyme Forte. We have a couple more products I wanted to cover. I just threw my bag of pills on the ground and two of them jumped out, so I got to save them. They need to be consumed.
Just adds more minerals. More minerals to them, yeah.
That's 100% correct. So we got some Bioimmunozyme Forte, great product for breaking down, maybe some foods and stuff that you're eating that you shouldn't be eating. You can use this as an enzyme. You can use this to actually build up and bolster your immune system. Also, we use this, because it's got a lot of what we call glandular products in it. It helps support the spleen, the liver, the pancreas, basically it becomes an antioxidant free radical scavenger. It's going to go find inflammation in the lymph tissue and in the digestive tissue, and it's going to go eat that mess out of your body and clear the blockage. I was sitting with a doctor friend of mine. This is again Bioimmunozyme Forte. It's a very cool immune enzyme type product that strengthens our body from within. And he was telling me, it's always about blockage, right? So it doesn't matter if we're dealing with emotional issues or we're dealing with biochemical issues or we have structural neurological issues. It's blockage. If we have congestion in the lines anywhere, the brain doesn't work as well. So the communication lines from the brain down to the cellular tissues, down to the soles of our feet doesn't work as well. Or if it's a digestive block and we have constipation, things back up into the lymph, back up into the body, stresses out other organ systems like our lungs and our sinuses and our kidneys and our skin. And so our body has a hard time in eliminating waste. These are the things that we're trying to eliminate when we're staying healthy, is to keep the congested lines open. And this helps to, this product here is one of these products that will help keep those congested lines open. And it's called Bioimmunozyme Forte. It's from a company called Biotics Research. So we use this quite a bit in our office when we have people with really taxed, low functioning immune systems, or just digestive immune challenges where we know a lot of the burden the person is carrying is from the GI tract. And so a great, wonderful product that I enjoy always in my war chest. And then moving on down the line, another favorite, most people probably would know, INF Fighter and Kid Cold would be in my war chest. We haven't even used this one yet, but we love the ginger root, elderberry, and echinacea in the Kid Cold, and the chaparral, golden seal, and echinacea blend in the INF Fighter. And these again can be used like chamomile marshmallow as bitters, and bitters stimulate gastric juices, so they soothe and heal the gut lining, and they allow the system to perform better from a digestive perspective. If you notice, a lot of the things that we are doing even on vacation is we're taking care of the digestive tract. So we support the immune system, but we want to make sure that the digestive tract is clear and open. And because when I was first in practice, it was 80% of every disease starts in the gut. Then 10 years later, it was 90% of all disease starts in the gut. And then we just recently read a book that I think it's like 90% human or 90% bugs, 10% human. And it made the case in the first 5 pages that 100% of all disease starts in the digestive tract. So we just got to really understand, here's the fundamental truth. If you're not investing in your digestive tract, you're missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan, which then feeds into our detox. If you're not detoxing in the 21st century, in order to clear the lines and clean those pipes, you're missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan. So we always want to encourage you, 42 days a year, detoxification is where we are at. We're at that mid-year point. We're encouraging people all throughout July to make sure that they are keeping their hand on the dials of detoxification in their life, even if it's just 10 days. You see, the 10 days, we've got patients that will come in and just do a 10-day program a month for every quarter, or they'll do it every month because they're doing a lot of traveling throughout their work month. And so they'll take the first 10 days, or the only 10 days that they have during the month when they're home, and they will focus on doing one of our inflammatory reduction detoxes that Molly, I believe, launched off on the 1st, and that we got Renee and coming in with the blood sugar detox on the 11th, and then Greg Mitchell starting on the 21st, the systemic cellular detox. So we've got tools available to you throughout this month and designed to show you that you can start detoxing any time of month. There's no time better than right now. And if you know that you've got trips planned all throughout the rest of the summer, we can schedule very easily a 10-day push of toxins, waste, and debris, and give yourself a 10-day vacation from stress and stimulants in a biochemical way. And this is, again, just one of the passions of living well is we're always going to give you options and resources to feel good, live good, and be good, with detoxification at the helm, with digestive support at the helm, and encouraging you to build your war chest so that when you travel, you're not left unprepared. You're not left in a precarious situation. You've got the tools and resources in your tool bag, and you're going to enjoy more whenever you go on your trips, because you're not going to be worried about the health aspects of what most people are struggling with and dealing with when they travel. And so for me, I got a couple extra little goodies in here that I've been working on personally. Is, people don't realize it, but we also struggle with vermins, just like in our house, but in our bodies. These are called parasites. So that product is VRM number 4. We have a whole slew of those, VRM 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they support different types of pathogens in the bug department. So we're looking everything from parasites that are larger in nature, all the way down to liver flukes, even down to cellular bloodborne pathogens. And again, what if once a quarter you come in and you do a bug killing protocol, and we do a little parasite cleanse, and we all could use a little deworming. We haven't really talked about it much on the show, Gardy, but it freaks people out to think that they might have bugs in their body that they need to kill off. But do they realize the Bible says we are to subdue the creepy crawly things? So if that's the case, then how come we're not leveraging more of God's herbs in order to clear out some of these things? So this stuff has Coriaria, Erva, Tostuia, valerian root, walnut, wormwood seeds, fleabane. That sounds great. Quasi bark, papillon, or not pap. That's my dog. Sorry, papillon. It's funny. I have butterfly dogs that are called papillons, so I just saw Papain. But this is going to be like enzymatics. A lot of the stuff in these parasite killers are designed to wither away at the exoskeleton of a parasite and disrupt the parasite's desire to live in your body. And one of the things people don't realize about parasites that I teach people all the time is that when we are working with patients that have parasites in their system, you're not actually killing parasites. You're creating an environment that parasites don't want to associate with. And so parasites are smoked out, if you will. And we create an environment where they're not welcome, that they don't feel comfortable. And of course, then we are able to push them on down the line out of our tissues. And so these parasite cleansing protocols, they're relatively painless. It's just an extra supplement you have to take. These are low dose products. And you only take 1 to 2 a day. And at very rare case would we need 4 a day for 30 days. And we do a 90-day cleansing cycle. And that way we can kill off all the eggs as well. And they have what they call a moon cycle. So they hatch at night during the moon hours, but they also run and hatch on the moon cycles. So that's why you've heard of people getting kind of crazy around full moon time. Well, this would also be a reason people get crazy, is because the parasites are hatching and driving their insides nuts. And you got 3 million, Gardy, 3 million more neurotransmitters in your digestive tract than you do in your brain. So when you have parasites hatching and running around crazy in your digestive tract, you can imagine your brain is going to be a little bit frantic and a little bit wiry and a little bit off the rails, and it could be contributing to some of the crazy that we see during the full moon season.
I mean, when you talk about those, you say, was it neurotransmitters like in your digestive tract? Is that why people get hangry and stuff, or lose self-control whenever? Is that related?
Yeah. So whenever a person gets hangry, yes, remember, there's 3 million more brain hormones in your digestive tract than there is in your brain. So that being said, we have there is a component to our emotional state and our digestive state. But also, a lot of the hangry comes because the body is trying to balance the blood sugar. So a person that's hangry typically refers to the blood sugar hypoglycemic patient that has issues regarding their blood sugar waxing and waning throughout the day. So like if you can't make it 2 to 3 to 4 hours without eating a meal, or you get hangry, or you get headachy, or you get shaky, that is an indication that your blood sugar is off. And so thanks for pitching me one. That leads right into our, on the 11th, we are doing our July blood sugar 10-day reset protocol. And you don't want to miss that. That's going to be a very powerful way to rebalance the blood sugar, rebalance the adrenal glands, and stabilize your blood sugar hormones so that you can stay with it whenever, you do miss a meal, because we don't want to be so fragile that we can't function without the meals. But sometimes we need a little extra support. And so when we look at blood sugar fluctuating will make you hangry. When we are looking at the parasite program, I would say that it's even a lot of people that start that have a lot of parasites in their body, and they will feel a little, it won't be a temporary, it'll be kind of a constant time of day where they feel their system feeling funny, or their system feeling a little bit like stomach is busy at work. So maybe they got a little bit of nauseousness, or they got a little bit of like gripping in their intestines. And that's because the body is using these herbs to push parasites loose and to disrupt their ecology and their home front, where they don't want to live in your body. And again, I look at them like anthills. If you kick an anthill over enough, or you spray water on it enough, or if you're whatever you can do to like irritate them, you don't have to poison them to get rid of them. You can just mess with their colony and they will leave. Parasites are just like that. And so parasites equating it back to ant piles in your yard, we are smoking them out. We're not going to get rid of ants. Ants always are going to be around. Yeah, you might kill that one ant pile. You might burn it if you're a little Johnny crazy with a magnifying glass. But at the end of the day, you're not getting rid of ants, right? I mean, it's just not happening.
Right. Yeah.
But we know parasites are that same thing. They're not going away. We just want to make sure they don't live in us at the level that they are living in so many people. And I think a lot of times, and they don't just live in your gut, guys. I mean, all these bugs can live anywhere in your body. They can live in your sinuses. They can cause sinus infections, chronic sinusitis. They can cause tonsil issues, earaches. They can live in your brain, and they can give you all kinds of brain challenges, neurogenic factors that slow your brain's processing speed. So, I mean, there's so many different things to consider when we're looking at the bug game and how to manage it. And that's another area where living well, we don't talk about it all the time, but I want to encourage people. Like, if you have digestive issues, if you have issues that you have been working, trying to find a solution to, but haven't found your answer yet, give us a call, 281-554-8600, because we want to go through a health history and we want to review your health journey, figure out what you've tried, what's worked, what's not worked, where are you heading towards the, your end goal, and help you find those underlying stones that haven't been turned over yet. and we call it those big blocks of health. And if we can turn those big blocks of health over, we can change the terrain, we can change the soil, and your health will begin to flourish and thrive in a vibrant, beautiful way. And so, it's an easy way to incorporate when you do detoxes with Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. You can incorporate some of these bug killing programs that, and a lot of times, I guess we've actually seen quite a few parasite cases over the last 3 weeks. And I think it's, kids going to all the summer camps and the water parks and things like that, where they could potentially get these bugs. And but what if it's just a time where you're saying, what, I do detoxes 42 days a year because that's what I know I can control. That's what I teach you can. But then you take 30 days, or you take 60 days, or you take even 90 days out of your year, and it drops some of these bug killing programs, parasites, yeast, virus, bacterial. We call these sequential immune upregulation cleanses, where you can push your body to get rid of bugs that you don't want living and harboring inside your body, taking up biochemical real estate, taking up the vim, vigor, and vip of energy that you want to have for yourself and your own body's, optimal wellness program. This is a way that you can start incorporating the idea of wellness at a higher level. Sequential immune upregulation is one of the best things that one of my mentors taught me a long time ago, and I've incorporated. I do bacterial attacks, viral attacks, parasitic attacks, fungal attacks, and then we can chase that down. If you're still having symptoms, then we can come in and we can start looking at testing. We can do mycotoxin testing, where we can look at, all right, mold expressing off outgas of toxins that could be affecting your body. We could look at, is there a fungal overgrowth or types of parasites? And then a lot of these tests that we do stool test wise, they will actually show us which herbs are most effective in attacking whatever pathogen that your body's struggling with and dealing with. And so it is very easy to incorporate wellness into your lifestyle. Like, it doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to require you to stay at home in the bathroom. This is wellness. It's optimizing how your brain works, your body performs, and your energy, and your ability to go out and have fun when the opportunities of fun present themselves. And I just, I'm amazed at at how easy this stuff has become for me, because I've been consistent over the years of applying these tools to my life and to my family's life. And they see it, they know when they get sick, what products to take: Kongaplex, Thymex, INF Fighter, Kid Cold, sesame seed oil for fevers. I mean, we have tools in our tool bag because they've been tried and true. And I'm very thankful that my kids have not had to use an antibiotic, because the technology we have has been able to ward off the need for, antibiotic atomic bombs. I really do believe that they're overused medicines today, and we have underutilized herbs, and we are getting back to a point where people are starting to think again, and they're starting to realize, we got to go back to nature. We got to get back to the basics of health and wellness and nutrition. We've got to get back to stimulating the body at its core and helping get the body to upregulate itself, turn itself back on into an immune fighting machine. And if we can keep your immune system healthy and happy, if we can keep your endocrine system healthy and happy, and if we can keep your vitamins, minerals, and essential fatty acid levels up, man, I'm telling you, you've got the ultimate wellness optimization biochemical program ever. Again, that's immune, endocrine, that is vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids. If you're touching those points, and then you're bringing in our 42 days a year of detox, you've got your liver, lymph, digestive tract covered, your endocrine system covered. You have a systemic wellness program that you're in control of. And we will help, of course, coach you and guide you and lead you through those programs. We just got to get you involved. We got to get you plugged in and to see the big picture, that 50,000 foot view of what wellness can look like. And it's not entirely overly complicated. You just got to ask questions. All right, have I done any of those sequential programs? Let me go talk to my team about that. Have I done any liver work or blood sugar work? let me reset my body. And people don't realize that it's like changing your air filters and your oil filters and rotating your cars. It's just maintenance. And we just look at our body like a temple. What Jim Rohn always said, the temple, the temple. You take care of the temple. We take care of the liver. The liver's the giver. We take care of the gut because 80, 90, 100% of all disease starts there. And we want to make sure that we keep our hands on the dials of your endocrine system so that you feel robust and your body has got that, that ability to just attack the day and be creative for your job, be creative and attentive to your family. And that's where wellness begins to shine, is when you're not down and out with a migraine, when you're not down and out with fatigue, chronic fatigue or depression, or your monthly cycle, crashing you. I mean, there's just so many things that bottom people out that we have tools to help them and support them through. And they just don't know. They just don't know. We got to somehow get the message out. So if you like the content, if you like the message, make sure that you share it, that you like it, that you make a comment, that you tune in every week. We're here with KHEA Radio and Living Well teamed up 9 to 10 every week. And we've done this for how long now, Gardy? I mean, I don't even know how many shows we've done.
I would say it started back in 2018. Is that?
I mean, it very well could. I mean, it's mind-boggling to think that we've been doing it that long. But the message is packaged different every week, but it's still the same. It's about you taking back the authority that God has given you to feel good, live good, and be good through food and wellness, through supplemental intervention, because the soil content can't deliver the goods anymore. People aren't living off the land anymore. I know, we have Molly's been working with a farm who's getting back to that kind of basics mindset. And it's amazing. Like when you go out and you put your feet on the ground, how different your day goes, bare feet. When you start listening to those, like you said earlier, the birds chirping, the dogs barking, the milking cows, and watching the interactions of goats in the land. It's a wild, amazing thing to see God through nature, and we just don't stop enough and take that in. And I'm guilty of this. I'm a very busy human, but I caught something yesterday with my daughter. Like I said, hey, we have really taught you to be busy, because I mean we can't even make it 3 times around the lazy river without you feeling, like you need to be doing something, right? Like it's okay that we're just floating for a second. And so this is an important, part of vacationing is resting. And my daughter just showed up and so she's like, was coming to look for me. So now she's mocking me. Thank you so much. But anyway, there's just so much to getting back to the basics of health, and you can take any angle you want. So like right now I'm sitting barefoot in the grass, and I got this, the birds chirping like you can hear in the background, and I'm just watching, life happen around me, because people are starting to get busy here where we're at. I mean, it's 9:44 and people are literally just starting to get busy. Love you, babe. And it's I think that's cool. I mean, don't you wish every day could start at 9:44? You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I mean, I sit back and go, yes, please. Maybe I need to take a note from little trips like this and just say, we got to learn to, take a step back and not be so busy, because that's what's actually driving a lot of our health conditions today is busy. And one of my other mentors, Al Garza, he said that busy is being under Satan's yoke, and how many times are people just caught under the yoke of bondage of, not having time. They're busy doing many things, like the Martha story, and we miss that opportunity to sit in the basics. We sit at the feet of Jesus. We sit and rest on the Sabbath. I mean, Gardy, do you always rest on the Sabbath?
No.
Whatever Sabbath is for you?
No, not necessarily. If you consider that Sunday, that's probably one of our busy days, working in ministry and being involved with the church. Yeah.
Yeah. And I imagine, Monday could be your Sabbath or whatever, but But yeah, I mean, I find myself every day of the weekend, every day of the week, I'm up to busy doing something. And so, guys, I'm guilty of this. So, I mean, I'm preaching to myself here, not to y'all. But what I can tell you is in the busy, what I've learned is if I'm going to drive my tissues, my body to the extreme, and I think there's times of successful extremes that we can take our bodies through. You better be supplementing that endocrine system, that pituitary, pineal, hypothalamic tissue in the brain, down into the metabolic tissues of your thyroid, the stress management, adrenaline, cortisol regulation of the adrenal glands, and the sex hormone potential of the ovaries or testes. And we've got to make sure that we're keeping all aspects of the endocrine system firing at optimal potential. And so we do things like simplex M, simplex F, neonatal multigland, glandular herbs that will help to stimulate the endocrine system to perform and function at its best. And so I come in regularly with these types of glandular support tissues because I believe through and through that the body can thrive in those extreme, environments, but we've got to make sure that we are giving it the resources, the tools. So that means I have to eat right. That means I got to be mindful of the amount of sugar that I'm exposed to or allowing at all into my body. There's seasons when I go completely sugar-free, as much as I can, and because it's very difficult in today's modern world. I mean, you can't even buy supplements that don't have added sugars in it. I mean, it's in people don't realize it's in their tobacco, it's in their alcohol, it's in their candies. Everybody's got a vice, and it just shows up in their bodies, consumption a little differently. And so we've got to pay attention that you're being suppressed at biochemical levels. We can I don't want, what's the opposite of suppress? We can optimize your body herbally and through diet and through lifestyle and teaching you, hey, recognize that you're busy, recognize that you need to slow down, and take that time to put your feet in the sand and sit back, relax, and enjoy the very good things that God's given you and the life you breathe. And I'm just I sit and I contemplate that kind of stuff when I'm on vacation, and I think we found for our family that long 7-day trips don't really work out for us as well because we have so much need at the office. We found that little 3-day trips or 2-day trips really does our family good to recharge. And my kids, looking back, remember they went on a bunch of trips and as opposed to one gigantuan trip. And that seems to be a really cool thing for their psyche. It's a great thing for our psyche to have every 4 to 6 weeks, just a day getaway, a 2-day getaway, where you can just kind of disconnect, close your eyes, contemplate, what's happened over the last month, the last 6 months, and the last year, and stay in tune with reflection, but not getting caught in living in the past or always forecasting for tomorrow, but trying to slow down and enjoy today, enjoy this very moment. So I don't know if you heard that. Did you hear that, Gardy?
I did. I heard a horn. Is that what that was?
No, that was, but there's also the water park is just kicked on.
I heard that too.
We're going to go play in the water park here in a little bit.
Yes.
And see what kind of fun that we have.
Dr. Chapa, are you going to be doing any lives or anything from going down a water slide? Is there any of that in our future?
I don't have a waterproof thing. I should. That would be a lot of fun to give people, because there's quite a bit of fun stuff out here at this park that you can indulge in. And yesterday, my son and I, there's only one ride here that I haven't done yet, and it's this thing where they put you in this capsule, and then it says 3, 2, 1, and the bottom drops out, and you just fall, and it's called the Summit Plummet or something like that. And it's the only one I haven't done yet. I'm like, oh my gosh, but I don't like getting in a tube and stuff like that. But then they have this other one called the Texas Twister, so it's a tube, and I do that one just fine. So I just need to suck it up, buttercup, and go get it done.
Yeah. Do your kids, they enjoy doing all those things? Are they pretty adventurous?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's only 2 rides here that my my 6-year-old can't ride because she's just a few inches short, but she wants to ride everything and does ride everything that they let her. So yeah,
awesome.
they're pretty darn adventurous. They like the water. They like the environment. This is a really safe place out here. When we've come out here to Splashway in Sheridan, you can almost let your kids just run around. Like last night, they had my wife and my daughter and son were out, playing late, and then the park opens here at 11, and so we're about to, when I'm done here with the show, I'll go help get our room packed up because we're leaving today, and then we'll go spend the rest of the day playing in the water. So it'll be a fun thing, and then tomorrow it's back at it, man. I mean, and that's the last part of it. When you do go on a vacation, if you do find yourself having some cheats here and there, and you are not, looking forward to the next day, guess what? You get what you look forward to is, hey, I got to play. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to get after it tomorrow. I'm going to eat better tomorrow. I'm going to make sure I get hydrated. I'm going to get back on my wellness plan. I'm not going to allow a week of recovery. I'm going to get right started the next day. And you'll be shocked that when you, again, have that attitude that, hey, give yourself permission to play at times, have your war chest available. I mean, it did not take me very long to throw Kongaplex and my fish oils and my immune boosting pills and my calcium magnesium powder, my Catalin and my Intestinal Cleanse and my chamomile marshmallow. It didn't take me long to throw all that together. It didn't take me long to put it in a plastic Tupperware and throw it in the car and go to town, and it's not a big protocol. Like, I mean, it's just the essentials. And the only reason you would need more of that is if you are staying longer. But if you're having little weekend getaways, you don't need to take 1,000 things with you. You can just do a little bit to maximize the experience and then get after it, while you're on the trip. And then when you get home, you're not having to, quote unquote, clean up as much, unpack as much. You're not having to fold as much laundry. You're not having to do all that metaphoric stuff for your body because you didn't completely jump off the rails while you were away from your normal lifestyle. And so I just learned that it's easier. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So being proactive and taking my supplements, drinking my water, making sure that I'm eating 75% of the way I should be, 25% of the way I shouldn't be. If you gave yourself that kind of grace, you can still enjoy vacation time and play time and still come back feeling not just refreshed, but you don't feel guilty that you gained 10 pounds. But again, if you did gain 10 pounds, we've got a 10-day detox for you. We got the inflammation reduction program going on right now. You can start at any time this month. We got we just have kickoff dates because people like kickoff dates. The 11th coming up is the blood sugar reducer program. And then the 21st is the systemic cellular reboot. So we just want to encourage you, find what works with your schedule and play the game with us. Let us help you. Let us maximize the body's ability to get rid of waste and toxins. And I'm telling you guys, you will love taking the bull by the horns. You will love the confidence you get whenever you are proactively caring for your body and doing your part. And I believe that when you do your part, God's always doing his part. We're going to maximize our overall well-being. And in the cases where you have a little bit more challenging situation, we're going to sit down with you one-on-one and help you figure out why your body's breaking down and what you can do to balance it out. So it's a together thing. We're going to work with you to help you find a solution to all your healthcare needs and help you build these war chests so when you travel, you're able to do it successfully. So this is Dr. Aaron Chapa, Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. And Gardy, thanks for being flexible today and letting me do radio while out in the elements. This has kind of been a neat experience for me to just be out here and sharing, life as it is happening, not as it is something that's structured necessarily all the time and planned, but being able to stay inside that structure with you and be online live and share some of these ideas with our listeners. Can you tell them how to tune back in and subscribe to our channel?
Of course. So if you are a fan of podcasts, and even if you're not, then you will be after you check out the Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center podcast, you can go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Those are two of the big ones. But anywhere that you get podcasts, you can search for Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. It'll pop up. Make sure you subscribe. You can go back and listen to, I would say there's over 100. There's hundreds of these past episodes where you can get this knowledge and information, and it's for free. And these are things that you're going to want to share with your friends and family. Probably episodes you'll want to go back and listen to over and over again. Take notes, come in with questions. It's going to be very beneficial to your life. I can tell you that. Thank you, Dr. Chapa. I appreciate you.
All right. Hey, God bless you guys. And you guys out there in listener land, we'll see y'all next week. God bless you.
This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM.